America's 60-year-olds are staring at financial peril. Man, I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to be able to retire. From the Wall Street Journal just the other day, from John Camp. Who is old John Camp? Well, we'll read that later. Here's Shauna Staples. Shauna Sharps is her name. She turned 60 years old, and she expects to keep working at least for the next decade. Okay, so you work until you're 70. Is that the worst thing ever happened? Okay. She doesn't travel and grows much of her own food at her home in western Washington state, where there's no income tax, by the way. The payroll manager for a local Native American tribal authority has meager savings and expects she'll have to keep working for at least the next decade. Part of her challenge, so she has to work until she's 70, she's thinking. Okay, and she's a payroll manager. She's not digging ditches. Part of her challenge is she turns 60 in January, putting her at the tail end of the baby boomer generation or whatever. The most important thing right now are a place to live indoors, water, and food. All right, and think about how I'm going to provide that for myself from now until I drop dead. Well, you're going to provide that for yourself because you have the place to live, water, and food. Okay, she only has $3,000 in retirement account. So let's keep looking, though. Let's keep looking at Shauna. We're going to see what else is going on with Shauna here. We're going to go down here. 1 second. Sharps, who has 4 adult daughters and lives in Oakville, Washington, lost roughly half the $20,000 in her 401k during the financial shock of 2007 and 9. She applied the remainder to the home mortgage. Okay, so she has 4 kids. All right. She had a mortgage. She took her 401k out after she lost half of her thing, her 401k, to apply the remainder to a home mortgage. Okay, that's not a bad move necessarily. Several years later, though, she lost her job as controller of a small lumber yard. That should put something in her head there. Her marriage also ended. So we know marriages destroy wealth. That's just a fact. I don't know if her husband's a scumbag, addicted to porn, beating her up. I don't know. It might be the other way around. I don't know. I don't know anything. But they had 2 income. Interesting. And they raised 4 kids. And she was controller for a lumber yard. Interesting. Last year, she bought a rundown 2-bed house on nearly 2 acres that she's rehabbing with her fiance. She hopes to at least cut back on work by age 70. To do that, she'll need to pay down she has $260,000 mortgage. Interesting. So what's the fair market value of her home? It doesn't say, but she has a $260,000 mortgage. All right. Interesting. And she's looking at financial peril. Interesting. A recent study looking at the roughly 30 million young boomers who will turn 65 between this year and 2030 determined that just over half have no more than $250,000 in financial assets. That makes it likely that these people have to rely on Social Security after burning through some savings as a primary source of income. Let's just look at Sharp here. Sharps. Nothing else on Sharps, though. She doesn't travel and grows. I don't travel much. Grows much her own food. Interesting. And her income right now is, what did they say, $40,000, I think is what it says her income was. Let's see where we can find this. Let's say, I can't find it. Let's just say it didn't say her income and it doesn't say her expenses. Isn't that interesting? Wouldn't you want to think what your expenses are there, Wall Street Journal? Doesn't say what her income is. Let's just say she's making $40,000 a year. All right, let's just say that. Now, what did it say she was doing before? She was working as a controller for a lumber yard that shut down. I guarantee she's making more than $40,000 a year before that. All right, now she raised 4 children, so either she was working the whole time or she stayed at home. Either she's going to get half of her previous husband's, as long as she's fiance, she's over 60, so she can get married now and get half of her previous spouse's Social Security or her current spouse's Social Security. And you can get half your previous spouse's Social Security even before he files. Isn't that interesting? Her current spouse, you got to wait till he files. But anyway, be it as it may. How much would she make as a controller? $60,000, $70,000 a year? So what's her Social Security based on? Is it based on the $40,000 she's making now? I don't know what she's making. I don't know. No, it's not. It's based on her 35 years of average index monthly earnings. So let's say in 2005 she was making $60,000. Oh, we can actually look at Social Security here. Let's check this out. Go here to the indexing, how you compute your average index monthly earnings when it's been indexes for inflation. So for retirement eligibility, it says 62. So if a person reaches 62 in 2024, then 2024 is this person's first year of eligibility. Now this lady, hello Finnegan, this lady was what? And I'm not here bashing the lady, I'm just saying, I just find it interesting. I think she just said she just turned 60. Yeah, turned 60. So her first year of eligibility would be 2026, all right? 2026 will be her first year of eligibility. So let's just say she made $60,000 as a controller in 2005. I'm just going to use that for example. So 2005. So in 2005, we take that 60,000 right there, and we times that by 1.86 times 1.86. So that's $60,000 in 2005 is the equivalent of $111,000 today, which is what her Social Security is based on. So ironically, they never say how much what's her name, Staples Sharps, how much she actually is going to get in Social Security. They just say she's at financial peril because they don't say, because she doesn't have that much savings. But we don't say what her equity is, her home. Can we do a reverse mortgage to pay out the mortgage? Let's take a look at the median house in, what was that called? Oakwood, Washington? Is that what it is? Let's just take a gander here, shall we? Hold on a second. The Oakville, Washington. Let's take a look at what the average property is in Oakville, Washington. Oakville, Washington, at least 2 acres. And check this out. Houses. Not apartments, not condos, but houses. You can see we got 3 available right now. 575, 550, 1.3 million. So here's a 2-bed, 2-bath house, 1,600 square foot in Oak, whatever this place is called. What's the place? Oakville, Washington. So she could take a reverse mortgage and pay all this sucker. Probably pretty doggone close. Maybe not 100%, but she might have to wait a couple of years. But pretty, look at that. That's a beautiful looking place. Beautiful looking place. Then she has no more mortgage. It's weird how they don't say that. They just say she's living in peril because she has no financial assets. Isn't that odd? Why would the Wall Street Journal not want to talk about other things? And then they talk about, let's go down here. It's just weird. It's just weird. What's her expenses? Oh, we don't know. What's her assets? We don't know. We just know she only has $3,000. Well, she raised 4 kids, for heaven's sake, dude. I mean, she also has a survivor benefit on her ex-husband, or survivor benefit on her fiance. So stupid. Let's check this other lady. Barbara Tero, something like that. She lost her job with a software company doing 2009, but she's also found other work with the job she has now. But she had to pay roughly half of her prior salary. So she was making $45,000 now. So if she was making $90,000 back in 2007 and 9, so we'll say back then, and this is her first year of eligibility because she just turned 62. So her indexing factor for, we'll say 2006, she's making $90,000 is 1.65. So we say, okay, so we have $90,000. Yeah, times 1.65. All right. So she had 148,000 of today's benefits in Social Security. And that would be one of her top 35. So her Social Security is going to be pretty good. That's just a fact. And so it's weird, though. They said, well, she's only making $45,000 now in Pelham, New Hampshire. I don't know where that is. But look at this. She hasn't been able to contribute to her retirement account due to another major life event, a traumatic brain injury her husband suffered about a year ago after she switched to the lower paying job. So she was getting a higher paying job up until she lost her job. But weird, she's able to find other work, a job she still has now during marketing work for another software company, but roughly half her salary. She still makes $45,000 a year today while working from home. But then it says right here, Tom, right here. So Tom suffered a major dramatic brain injury her husband suffered about a year after she switched to the lower paying job. So we'll just say in 2010. The couple lost his higher salary and had to move homes to accommodate his wheelchair. They pay their mortgage and other household expenses from her salary, modest disability benefits. Well, he can get certainly his full retirement age Social Security, and that'd probably be well in the $2,500 to $3,000. I don't know. I'm not saying it's cheap, but it's a whole lot different looking at Peril. So she has Karen. I don't have any hesitation saying that sucks, dude. It sucks. He had a traumatic brain injury, and he's only going to get his disability. Hopefully, he has some other disability too from his work, but he's going to get Social Security disability, and he's on Medicare. I'm not saying that's cheap. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, but right here, it's not more than modest. She also has a dip in the retirement. They have about $250,000 to $300,000 to cover the cost. Today, living in a 55 and up community filled with older retirees, she finds it hard to leaving work herself. Why? Again, it doesn't say how much expenses. So there's Tom right there. It sucks. You got a traumatic brain injury. It does. I do. I totally get it. But but the whole premise of this article is retirees 60 years old are staring at financial peril. It's just incorrect. A recent study by the nonpartisan EBRI suggests that people are overly optimistic of how long they can remain on the whatever. Social Security can provide a financial backstop for many older Americans because benefit of Social Security was never intended to be your full retirement. And guess what? There was no full retirement back when Social Security came out, you friggin' people. Not you guys, not my people, just these idiots. Social Security was never provided to be the full thing. No one had retirement back then. They had pensions. You're just wrong. This is just silly. They're just wrong. And why? So why they? Let's see how many comments there are here. Yeah, 2,000 comments. Why they do this? And this is the Wall Street Journal. Why are you doing that? America's 6 years old staring at financial peril. Look, I nothing but respect for Barbara Peril or whatever her name is, having to take care of her husband brain surgery. How many times does that actually happen? Not the overall 60 years old facing financial peril. It's just stupid to say that, even imply that could happen to you. It's just not. And then this other lady here, what's her name? Sharps. Yeah, this lady right here. We have no clue what her home equity is. We have no clue we just know she has $3,000 in savings. We have no clue what her expenses are, what her Social Security is. We have none. Isn't that an important part? Yeah, I think so. I guarantee, though, they're going to sit here in the comments. It's Trump's fault. It's Biden's fault. Dude, I'm just sitting there thinking, wouldn't we want to know the other side of the story before we start saying people are in financial peril? You would think. But then what would I be doing? If everyone already knew this, I would have no video, no YouTube channel. No. Love your thoughts. God bless. We'll see ya.